On the news tonight, Lagos State government pledges stronger safety measures to safeguard lives and property. IGP Egbetokun underscores Nigeria's frontline experience in the fight against terrorism at Global Security Forum in China. Plus, latest in the world of entertainment and sports. Good evening and welcome to the news at 7. My name is Oyi Konsola Ocheladi. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, is in Liangyungang, Jiangsu Province, China, where he delivers a keynote address at the Global Public Security Cooperation Forum. Speaking on the theme combating transnational crime and countermeasures, Egbetokun warns that criminal syndicates are no longer small operators, but vast enterprises worth hundreds of billions of dollars, larger than the economies of many countries. It stresses that organized crime now generates over $870 billion annually, draining resources that could otherwise provide schools, hospitals, jobs, and security for millions. The IGP highlights how human traffickers in North Africa, terrorist networks in the Sahel, and cybercriminals across borders destabilize nations thousands of miles away, proving that crime has become as globalized as commerce. He urges governments to unite in principles, share intelligence, and embrace innovation in order to match the speed and agility of criminal groups. Egbetokun underscores Nigeria's frontline experience in the fight against terrorism, citing Boko Haram exploitation of porous borders and international arms market. He calls on states to close ranks, build strong coalitions, and stand together in courage, reminding the forum that while criminals move for profit, nations must move for principle. The forum gathers ministers of security, police chiefs, and experts from across the world, with China hosting in recognition of the need for stronger international cooperation against transnational crime. Still on the police force, the Lagos State Police Command has restored peace and normalcy to Tedrosho Market Phase 2, Surulere, following a violent disturbance by hoodlums and miscreants who mobilized under the guise of protesting a power outage. The hoodlums and miscreants damaged some sections of the bank premises and attacked police personnel on guard duty at the bank within the market. The PMF personnel repelled the attacks and firmly protected the bank from invasion by the hoodlums and miscreants and exercised a high level of restraint in their actions. This was contained in a statement issued by the Deputy Police Public Relations Officer, Babasheyi Olusheyi. According to the statement, the Lagos State Police Command wishes to assure members of the general public and traders in Tedrosho Market and other markets in Lagos State that normalcy has been fully restored and the situation is under control. People are enjoined to go about their lawful businesses peacefully without fear of apprehension. The command assures residents, business operators, and stakeholders that the situation remains under control. CP Olondari Jimo reiterates that violent attacks on police personnel and destruction of property will not be tolerated. He hereby advises Lagosians to show utmost respect to the police personnel in the discharge of their responsibility of protecting lives and property, while urging all residents to report complaints to the nearest police stations and their emergency helplines. The Lagos State government has pledged stronger measures to safeguard lives and property following Tuesday's fire at Afriland Towers on Broad Street, Lagos Island. The blaze, which engulfed the 6-story commercial building, claimed several lives and left traders counting heavy losses. Joy Ken Abakoya reports.
Every time a female gender is attacked and killed, the wheel of justice is activated and
At a media briefing, Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, conveyed government's condolences to families, organizations, and legations affected by the Afriland Towers fire. He urged the public to remain calm during emergencies to avoid preventable casualties.
What went wrong on that day? There are speculations about it. And this is not uncommon in a city like this and any human environment.
Emergency responders explained that the fire originated from the basement of the six-story building. They maintained that their intervention was swift, despite speculations in some quarters, stressing that their priority was saving lives and stopping the inferno from spreading further.
About 1:30 in the afternoon, a distress call was made, and the Lagos State Emergency Crew mobilized immediately to this location. We had in presence, we had the LASEMA, we had Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, we had the Safety Commission, and we had the LASAMBAs.
In line with the Safety Commission, that it was not fire that killed the victim or the injured people, but it was smoke, as a result of smoke emanated from the basement of the building.
And immediately the victims were rescued out of the fire. They were taken into the ambulance. Immediately we commenced oxygen therapy because a lot of them has inhaled the carbon monoxide, which fast kills even more than the fire.
On the same day, traders at Central Plaza near Mandilas Market also lost goods worth millions of naira in a separate fire incident. The government extended its sympathies to them as well. The state government says safety reviews are being intensified, assuring that emergency protocols will be strengthened. Lagosians are meanwhile advised to observe safety rules and cooperate with first responders. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakbuya, NTA News.
The Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) and Prevention has confirmed that there are no cases of Ebola virus disease in the country. The clarification follows widespread concerns over reports of suspected cases. Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, confirmed that the two individuals earlier flagged as suspected cases have tested negative for the virus. He called on the public to remain calm and avoid spreading unverified information, stressing the need to rely only on updates from credible health authorities.
Nigeria is taking a step forward towards securing the hosting rights for the 2030 Commonwealth Games, having hosted an edition.
Let me confirm again, right now, we have no cases of Ebola in the country. The case was tested negative for Ebola, and today again, they are actually doing the same test of the blood for Lassa fever or something similar, which we are used to here. So you understand me? But for Ebola, it is negative. We do not have any case of Ebola in the country now. But I must say again that this social media thing can create panic. And this is something again that we would like to discourage, that people again should only listen to information coming from NCDC so that we have a coordinated information line.
Meanwhile, health officials at the Abuja facility where the most recent suspected case was isolated have confirmed a prompt and coordinated response to the NCDC. They also reiterated that surveillance has been intensified, particularly at border crossings and major points of entry to ensure early detection and rapid containment of any potential outbreak.
Provided us with PPEs and other consumables that were very, very necessary in managing this patient.
But more importantly, again, I must commend the effort of the private hospital that started and triggered this. But this is the kind of collaboration we expect from Nigerians, because without that, we probably wouldn't have known. So they notified us, and we went into action to do the needful.
Idris also outlined the common symptoms of Ebola and issued a public health advisory. He urged healthcare workers and the general public to adhere strictly to safety protocols to minimize any risk of exposure.
Most of these cases go to first before they come to the public. The healthcare workers must be on a high level of suspicion. They must practice infection prevention and control in their various hospitals. If they suspect any case similar to Ebola or similar to Ebola, they should notify us and institute an IPC mechanism in their various hospitals. It's also important, again, people must know that Ebola can be curbed easily if we avoid contact with people suspected of having the case.
Nigeria has expressed its readiness, if granted, to host the Commonwealth Games slated for 2030, tagged Abuja 2023. Representing President Bola Tinubu, Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila led a federal delegation in a meeting to further convince the Commonwealth Sports Bid Evaluation Committee at the State House. State House correspondent Musbaudan Wahab reports.
Nigeria is taking a step forward towards securing the hosting rights for the 2030 Commonwealth Games. Having hosted an edition of the All-African Games, FIFA Under-17 and Under-20 World Cups, as well as some continental championships, the Commonwealth Games remain one of the top global sporting events yet eluding the country. Similarly, no African country has ever hosted the Games despite 22 Commonwealth countries on the continent. And with the support of other African member nations, Nigeria is facing India in the final stage of bidding.
The time has come for Nigeria and indeed all Africa to offer the warm embrace of her hospitality, the grandeur of her culture, and the passion of her people to the Commonwealth Games. Our bid is grounded in the conviction that the 2030 game in Nigeria will not only celebrate sport, but will also ignite a legacy of transformation across our continent.
I can assure you, we're ready, we're willing, we're able, and we actually want this.
Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, emphasized the characteristic aim of a Commonwealth as an umbrella of unity and diversity, which he says qualifies Nigeria for the hosting rights.
Nigeria has set on this administration, particularly on some bold reforms to reposition sports as a strategic driver of national development. Our role within this family has always been clear, to stand for unity, equality, and progress. Beyond the infrastructure, which is very important in terms of your evaluation. So there's some intangibles that you can't even put your finger on. That is what you will find in abundance, apart from the infrastructural development, in abundance in Nigeria. You know, the people, their warmth, their hospitality.
Other stakeholders justified Nigeria's position as the country promises to partner the private sector and civil society organizations to ensure that every aspect of the Games meets international standard if granted.
Bidding to host the Commonwealth Games clearly aligns and is in tune with the vision of Mr. President to drive this vision. And we believe if we get the opportunity to host the Commonwealth Games in 2030, it will create so much massive positive for the country, not just in terms of sports, but in terms of infrastructure development and wealth creation.
This country has one of the biggest sports market in the world, as one of the biggest population of sport enthusiasts in the world. Beyond football, this is the time to be our friend, to support us. Let's have the Commonwealth Games here in Nigeria 2030.
When we look at the Games now, very, very different in relation to the bidding process, very, very different to what happened in the past in relation to the way these games were awarded.
Nigeria is slated to make presentation of a final bid slated for September 24 in London. From the State House, Musbau and Wahab.
The country continues to bear the burden of increasing incidents of femicide. The Force Pathologist Office of the Nigeria Police has come up with empirical data to inform public policy decisions and produce actionable insights to prevent violence against women and girls, as well as femicide in Lagos. The information was presented at a one-day symposium on measuring femicides in Lagos State. Data, advocacy, and action organized by the Lagos State Police Command. Mr. Toliet has details.
Every time a female gender is attacked and killed, the wheel of justice is activated and prosecution of perpetrator is imminent. Yet, the absence of reliable data on femicide rates in Nigeria highlights the challenge faced by security agents and civil society groups to predict and nip impending femicide in the bud. To address this data gap, the First Pathologist Office of the Nigeria Police embarked on a 5-year retrospective analysis from 2020 to 2024 on Lagos State's femicide burden using the statistical framework developed by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime and UN Women.
This study brief will serve as a valuable template and essential resources for understanding and combating femicide in Lagos State and Nigeria at large.
Key findings showed that a total of 1,666 unnatural deaths involving males and females were reported to the State Criminal Investigation Department of the police during the study period.
Intelligence gathering and data analysis, we need all that to be able to actually do our job appropriately, maintain law and order, protect lives and property.
The data is expected to boost criminal justice system in Lagos State.
This kind of data will also help us to appreciate the reasons for the killing of women in all these heinous crimes.
Stakeholders react to the findings presented by the Nigeria Police Pathologist Office.
The body language of the police is that they take crimes against, they take violence against women and girls seriously. So this is a very welcoming development that we hope will lead to better legislation on femicide.
The Nigeria Police say the data gathered will support evidence-based policy making, enhance accountability, and strengthen efforts to prevent femicide and gender-based violence across the country.
We have been able to categorize out of the 350 female deaths, as 70 were femicides. And we've been able to actually also do what we call disaggregated variables of, that means the pattern of this femicide.
Femicide is not something to be disregarded at all. We have trained the minds of our officers and equally their operational modalities to ensure that once before it occurs, we prevent them, because this dovetail from domestic violence before it leads into what is called a femicide.
There was a consensus for government agencies, civil society organizations, and research institutions to work together to gather and maintain up-to-date statistics on gender-related killings. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Channel 10 News will now go on a short break to stay with us.
Step into the world of Shanghai Palette, the heartbeat of Nigeria's palette landscape, where creativity and precision unite from the very beginning. Every palette is a masterpiece, crafted with precision by our dedicated technicians at Shanghai, where precision is not just a standard, but a way of life. Promising excellence that is 100% sourced and proudly produced right here in Nigeria. Choose Shanghai products, where precision meets pride.
Proudly Nigerian.
Shanghai Palette, where quality meets the spirit of craftsmanship.
Welcome back. Muslim faithfuls have been enjoined to guard their utterances and shun vain talks capable of hurting the feelings of anyone regardless of their religious affiliation. This was the main focus of the Friday sermon by Imam Isa Ambali at the NTA Lagos Channel 10 Mosque. Khalidat Alade has the details.
Imam Isa Ambali told the congregation that Islam places high premium on utterances, adding that it is better to utter the resemblance of Allah and be rewarded than to encourage in vain talks, which can attract the warrants of Allah. He encouraged the faithful to always purify their souls by listening to the words of Allah, saying this will help shaping their thoughts and guide their utterances. Imam Ambali warns that every word spoken is recorded and Allah will hold everyone accountable for their actions and words. He wrapped up the sermon by reminding the congregation that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says whoever believes in Allah and the last day should always speak what's good or remain silent. The Imam thereafter led the congregation in the 2 obligative rakah. Some faithful Muslims spoke to NTA News on the lessons on the sermon.
Today's topic is talking about al-lisan, that is to be careful about your tongue. It's really taught us what will put us in paradise and what can easily also take us out of paradise that can put us in hellfire.
If you know that what is going to come out from your mouth, it goes along, then you are not sure of it. Then you evaluate it to the extent that once you know that that thing is not beneficial, it's better for you to let it go.
We should be very, very careful among of the way that we are using our tongue, most especially talking much, saying what we can, what we're not supposed to say, discuss another people's life, and so, which is we are combining saying much.
Jumat prayer is a congregational prayer that replaces our shortened Salat Zone on Fridays in Lagos. Khalidat Alade, NTA News.
On the foreign scene, U.S. vetoes UN resolution on Gaza ceasefire as famine confirmed in the city. Let's hear more from Atia Olayinka.
Security Council resolution demanding a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, unrestricted aid access, and the release of hostages. The draft, backed by 14 of the Council's 15 members, marked Washington's 6th veto since the war began nearly 2 years ago. Denmark's UN envoy warned famine has already been confirmed in Gaza, as Israel's expanded offensive in Gaza City worsens the humanitarian crisis. A global hunger monitor said the famine is expected to spread beyond the city. Nepal's interim Prime Minister Sushila Kaki has pledged to confront corruption, boost employment, and rebuild trust in government following a wave of deadly Gen Z-led protests earlier this month. Delivering her first public remarks since assuming office, Kaki acknowledged that state shortcomings has fueled widespread frustration, unrest that left dozens dead, injured thousands, and ultimately brought down the previous administration. That is on foreign news. I am Atia Olayinka in Lagos, NTA News.
We have come to the end of the English news package tonight. Do stay tuned for the Yoruba news package with Fadekemi Oguntuashi. To have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Kálẹ̀ ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀yìn láti iléeṣẹ́ NTA ìkànnì kẹwàá. Ìròyìn rèé láti ẹnu Fadékẹ́ Ògúntóàṣe. Àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò dídẹ́kun àjàkálẹ̀ àìsàn ní olú ìlú wa ní Àbújá ti bu ẹnu àtẹ́ lu àwọn tí wọ́n ń gbé ìròyìn èké káàkiri wípé àìsàn Ebola tún ti wọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀gá àgbà tó ń rí sí ètò dídẹ́kun àjàkálẹ̀ àìsàn NCDC Dr. Jide Idris sọ di mímọ̀ pé kí àwọn ará ìlú má ṣe mikàn kí wọ́n má ṣe gbà kí ìròyìn èké yìí bá wọn lọ́kàn jẹ́. Ó sọ pé àwọn ẹni méjì tí wọ́n tọ́ka pé ó ní àrùn Ebola láìpẹ́ yìí ni àjọ wọn ti ṣe àyẹ̀wò fún ní ọgbà wọn tí wọ́n sì ti rí wípé kò sí ohun tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn oníṣẹ́ ètò ìlera ní olú ìlú Àbújá ti ń rí pé ohun tí ó bá lè mú àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn wọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí kò ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọ̀gá àgbà Dr. Idris sọ pé wọ́n ti la ètò lọ́lọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan sílẹ̀ fún ètò ààbò fún ìlera àwọn ará ìlú tí wọ́n sì jẹ́ kí àwọn ará ìlú mọ̀ pé ojú ni alákàn àjọ NCDC fi ń ṣọ́rí. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti ṣe àpèjúwe ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìlú Èkó ní agbègbè ìsàlẹ̀ Èkó bí ohun tí ó bani nínú jẹ́. Ìjọba bá àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà kàn kẹ́dùn ìjàmbá iná ti ilé alájà mẹ́fà ilé-iṣẹ́ Afriland Towers àti Mandela's Plaza èyí tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Joy Ken Abakoya nígbà tí ó ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn sọ pé kọmíṣánná tí ó ń rí sí ètò ìròyìn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Gbénga Ọmọ́tọ́ṣọ́ nígbà tí ó ń bá àwọn akọ̀ròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ níbi tí ó ti ṣojú ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó látàrí àbẹ̀wò tí wọ́n ṣe sí àwọn ẹbí, ọ̀rẹ́ àti olú iléeṣẹ́ Afriland Towers àti Mandela's Plaza júwe ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà pé ó jẹ́ ohun tí ó bani lọ́kàn jẹ́ púpọ̀. Kọmíṣánná náà wá rọ àwọn olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó wípé ètò láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba láti rí i pé dídẹ́kun jàǹbá iná kò ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ ń lọ lọ́wọ́. Ó wá gbà wọ́n níyànjú láti padà sí ìdí ọjà títà wọn ní ìrọ̀wọ́rọ̀sẹ̀. Ó sọ síwájú wípé ìjọba ti ń tò ètò láti túbọ̀ rí i pé àjọ elétò iná ṣe ojúṣe wọn láti máa tètè dáhùn ní ìgbàkúùgbà tí àwọn ará ìlú bá ké gbàjarè, pàápàá ní ìgbà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì. Ìpè ti jáde sí àwọn mùsùlùmí àti láti ọ̀dọ̀ Imam Isa Ambali ti mọ́ṣáláṣí Nta ìkànnì 10 fún àwọn mùsùlùmí láti rí i pé ọ̀rọ̀ asán kò jáde láti ẹnu wọn. Imam Ambali ṣàlàyé wípé ọ̀rọ̀ asán sísọ jáde nínú Islam ni Islam kò fọwọ́ sí nítorí pé ó lè mú kí Allah bínú sí irúfẹ́ ẹni tí ó bá ń sọ ọ́. Ó rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí kí wọ́n máa rí wípé wọ́n ṣe ìwẹ̀nùmọ́ ọkàn wọn lóòrèkóòrè èyí tí ó lè ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe àkóso ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń jáde nínú ọkàn wọn. Imam Ambali sọ síwájú pé irú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lè dúró dè wọ́n ní ọjọ́ ìkẹyìn. Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá gba Allah gbọ́ tó sì ń tẹ̀lé òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run Muhammad ìkẹ́ àti ìgẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó máa bá a gbọ́dọ̀ rántí pé ó dára kí wọ́n máa dákẹ́ ju wípé kí ọ̀rọ̀ asán jáde ní ẹnu wọn. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Khalidat Alade jábọ̀ ìròyìn pé lẹ́yìn wáàsí náà ni Imam Ambali àti àwọn jọ̀mọ́ kí ìrun rákà 2. Kò ní jù báyìí lọ láṣálẹ́ ìtòní. Ẹ pàdé wa lọ́la fún ọ̀tun ìròyìn. Ó dàárọ̀.